In this tutorial, we're going to be folding the closed hexagon twist. This is the most basic of the hexagon twists, and this tutorial is part of the Summer of Twists series, which means that you can sign up for email reminders once a week for 10 weeks at training.gatheringfolds.com/summer to get the whole series. And there's going to be a longer tutorial recommended at the end of the video so you can practice this twist in the context of a repeating pattern, an origami tessellation. So let's get started with the twist itself. This is the first twist we've seen in the series where there's no extra fold lines, it's all grid lines. And I'm going to go ahead and draw all of the folds that we're going to need. I'm using an 8-fold triangle grid on a square, which means 8 divisions top to bottom, and you can check out the Summer of Twists series introduction video if you're not familiar with this grid. So I'm drawing in a central hexagon of grid triangles. So on those grid boundary lines, and I'm drawing mountain folds, so solid red for mountain, out from the corners. Then my valley folds, this is going to be a right-handed twist, and so my valleys are going to be around, so right hand, thumb up in the middle, fingers out along a mountain, curl your fingers, you hit the valley, the parallel valley, that is. And I'll draw these valleys on the whole thing. Now I'm going to show you 2 different methods of collapsing this closed hexagon twist. And the first method is going to be the easiest one on this scale of grid. And I'm going to pick up my paper. I'm going to take one corner of the hexagon and I'm going to pinch that into place. Then I'm going to take the next corner of the hexagon and pinch that into place. And I want to make sure that as I go around, I'm not like creating valleys on the other side of my hexagon. I want to make sure that those are nice and firm. I'm going around tucking in the paper kind of as I go. And eventually I'll have tucked my way all the way around and I'll have a flat twist again. So that's what I would recommend at this scale with this many grid divisions, where you're doing just one twist. And then opening it up again, if I have more grid divisions, I'm going to start by emphasizing each of my pleats. And I might want to do this down on the table, although working in the air is working pretty well for me right now. And what I'm doing is I'm building up kind of a tower that is kind of floating above my flat surface. So notice my background is completely flat, and then I have those 2 grid spacings along the mountains. And this is something that's harder to construct with this scale of grid, but much easier if you have longer pleats leading out, and especially if you're folding from a pleat overlap, where 2 of your pleats are already folded in place. So there you don't really have the option of going around and doing each corner individually. Instead, I like to do what I call bop it, grab it, twist it. And this often leads to some crumpling, like you heard the crumpling in there, and it often needs a little bit of ironing out, just checking on each of those corners, checking to make sure that the valley folds are actually on grid lines, which can be done with the bone folder, or you can pop over to the back side and check and see that that closed hole really is closed. Let's take a moment to explore this crease pattern. So on the front side, you can see it can be quite difficult to reopen once it's been closed. We have all of these mountain folds. Now, we didn't set up a projection of mountain folds into the center like we did with other twists, but this is what you'll often see when you already have two pleats folded and you're trying to find the rest without having drawn on that central hexagon. You're looking for the point where the mountain folds contact each other, and that's where all of these mountain folds will come in and touch that point. On the back side of the paper, we're going to have valley folds for our central hexagon, and those folds going directly out from the corners. And we'll have mountain folds for the remaining folds of the pleats. And once again, this is still right-handed on the back. That's one of the funky things about twists, is that if they're right-handed on the front, they are also right-handed when you flip them over. So finger up in the middle, fingers along the mountain, you curl, you hit the valley. And one thing that often comes up with these twists is you're trying to prepare them from the other side of the paper, often with 2 or even 3 pleats that are kind of helping to set up the twist. And in this situation, if you have 3 pleats already folded going into this twist, you actually can lay the whole thing down flat from this side. And notice there I extended opposite sides of the hexagon out and basically allowed the paper to tell me what extra folds to add, because I do have this zigzagging in those pleats that are entering my half hexagon tube. So that's another method you can use. One of the common pitfalls, so you can do 3 pleats, have a half hexagon tube, and then add the rest. One of the common pitfalls with the closed hexagon twist is leaving it like this. Kind of looks right, doesn't it? Even looks right on the back. But what's going on under the hood is you've got this zigzag in the mountain fold, and you need to twist it all the way around for it to really lay flat, and that'll really pull that closed hole super tight on the back. So that's what's going on with this closed hexagon twist. And I invite you to check out the longer tutorial to fold the twist in context, to practice the twist. And if you want the crease pattern for that longer tutorial, definitely check out the Summer of Twists ebook. All links are in the description. So happy folding, and I'll see you next time.